And this one is going to be a very interesting conversation. It's between two amazing people. Jamie Poskin is a former high school math and English teacher. Imagine that. He has his MBA and MA in education from Stanford University, and he is the founder of TeachFx, a company that is empowering teachers with feedback on student engagement using voice AI. I hope he explains that one to us. Benoît Wirz is our other colleague here, and he is a partner at Brighteye, which he helped launch in 2017. Brighteye Ventures is one of Europe's leading focus-based venture capital funds, backing companies leveraging technology to help people grow and learn. Gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Great, thanks. I thought it might be helpful if I just started by explaining why we invested in TeachFx. It sits at the intersection of three things that we found really exciting. One is teacher effectiveness. If you think about the $7 trillion global spend, roughly 20% of that is spent directly on teachers, and so anything that you can do to improve teacher effectiveness really has a tremendous impact on learning. The second is it's a device or a product that provides real-time feedback, and we found that real-time feedback is one of the most effective ways to learn. And the third is just a tremendous team of which Jamie leads, and I'm going to turn it over to him to just explain what is TeachFx.
Great, thanks, Ben. Like I said, I'm a former teacher. TeachFx is an app that teachers use and that uses voice AI to measure the student engagement, the equity of voice, and the discourse patterns in your classroom. And then the app automatically provides you as the teacher with targeted pedagogical feedback on your teaching practice, very similar to what an instructional coach might do. It works on your phone, a laptop, on Zoom, on Teams, on any video conferencing platform. And really, we do what we do for three big reasons. One is student voice. Students need to speak in order to learn. The research on this is unequivocal. So whether you're working on a high-leverage teaching practice like asking open-ended questions or using wait time, or you're trying to implement a new curriculum, the whole stinking point of all of it is you're trying to get the kids more engaged, and we believe it's essential to measure that. The second reason we do what we do is equity. Teachers currently talk at their kids between 70 and 80% of class time, rather than letting students lead their own learning. And this problem is really most acute for special populations. It's a term in the US for Title I students, English learners, and students with disabilities. These groups benefit the most from speaking in class, but get far fewer opportunities to do so. And the third reason we do what we do, Ben alluded to, is feedback. In order to improve in anything, we need feedback. And teachers rarely get authentic feedback from their administrators. It's just too costly. TeachFx empowers teachers with on-demand feedback whenever they want it.
Great. And so one question I know you've had to deal with, like a lot of entrepreneurs, is COVID and the impact of the pandemic. And we'd love to hear more about how TeachFx has evolved in that context.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. I mean, student engagement is probably at its lowest level in history right now. I mean, the transition to virtual learning has really put teachers in an unfamiliar and a challenging environment. And look, I was a teacher. It's hard to get kids engaged in normal times. To do it over Zoom is 10 times harder. And we've seen this challenge firsthand because we measure student engagement directly. And our partners are telling us that, yeah, hey, this is more important now than ever. We really see the crisis of the pandemic in education as a crisis of student engagement. And what's especially painful is that those suffering the most in the virtual learning environment are our most vulnerable students. So what we've done in response, our newest product innovation at TeachFx is called an equity tracker. And it's a new set of features that helps the teacher create a more equitable virtual classroom. We give teachers data in real time about which students are actively participating and who is disengaged. And the response has been pretty amazing. I mean, we're just hearing that it's absolutely game-changing for folks.
Great. And just one last question around internationalization. I mean, it's a question that actually in Europe entrepreneurs face earlier than in the US, but we'd love to hear how you're thinking about the international market.
Yeah, our focus has been on the US so far, where we're being used in several thousand schools, but we're very excited about opportunities to expand globally. The software works in any language. We're already partnering with the Ministry of Education in Chile. And we work with schools in a couple other countries as well. And we're excited to do more in the future.
Great. I think that's kind of all the time we've been budgeted at the moment. So thanks, Jamie. Thanks for being honest and clear.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, gentlemen. This is the first time that anybody's been on time.